Megyn Kelly has weighed in on Meghan Markle's failed plan.
She's absolutely ruthless.
But today felt like the perfect day to address a theory that many people out there have been speculating on, that Meghan Markle has lied about her age. Is she actually older?
We've got to talk about Meghan Markle.
I remember when she was born, big new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
We need to talk about Meghan Markle. And no, this has nothing to do with a Netflix project, lifestyle branding, jam jars, or quiet side eyes from Buckingham Palace. This time, the spotlight is locked on something way more personal and way harder to walk back: her age. This story blew up fast because Megyn Kelly didn't just toss out a casual opinion about Meghan Markle's image. She dropped a line that hit like a lightning strike and stuck. One sharp moment, one camera stare, and suddenly the whole conversation changed direction. Kelly looked straight into the lens and openly asked a question that made people gasp. Is Meghan Markle really being honest about how old she is? Boom! Not a sweet birthday shout-out, not playful teasing, but a full-on birthday bomb. When your public image is built on being real and transparent.
And not a surprise here because, yeah, she lies a lot about her stuff. We've caught her in so many lies. Her own sister has come forward, her family, everybody is exposing the lies that she's been telling.
Even a small doubt about your birth year can explode into something huge. Once that question landed, the internet went wild and showed zero mercy. People tore into the topic like it was free popcorn on premiere night. No filters, no patience, no holding back. This stopped being about whether Meghan is 44, 46, or 50. It turned into a deeper mess involving a salsa club photo, a strange paper trail, and whispers of palace-level cleanup, turning the Duchess of Sussex into what some critics now label the Duchess of Deception. So let's rewind the tape. Northwestern University, early 2000s, and a salsa club group photo from back in the day. It looks harmless at first glance. Students are smiling, throwing up peace signs, frozen in pure nostalgia and carefree college energy.
There's nothing original here.
I hope you're having the best birthday you've ever had. Thank you for everything.
Which is really such a fake when she was younger.
Hi, Daddy.
Congratulations.
I got an English award.
100% a bully.
But when the internet resurfaced this photo in 2025, sharp-eyed viewers noticed something didn't line up. Many people in the picture appear to be born in the early 70s, meaning they're now comfortably in their early 50s. And standing right there, blending quietly into the back row, was Meghan Markle, who is officially listed as being born in 1981. By the math, she should have looked noticeably younger, but plot twist, she didn't stand out at all. Supporters say looks can be deceiving, but critics weren't buying it. To them, this wasn't random, it was evidence. Evidence of what exactly? A timeline that feels edited, a chapter that's missing, a birth year that doesn't quite add up. Once the smoke appeared, people started digging hard for fire.
And it would only make sense that she might lie about this. Would it be such a big deal? Is it true? Well, thankfully, Steph the Alternate has compiled a slideshow. Let's actually get to the truth of this issue. And it's a surprise. Here we go.
That salsa photo quickly turned into the Zapruder film of royal gossip. Classmate ages didn't align, alumni records felt messy, and dates appeared to slide around like a bad calendar glitch. All of a sudden, Meghan's life story stopped reading like a clean biography and started sounding like a rewritten screenplay. In Hollywood, trimming a few years might get a pass, but when royalty is involved, that's a different world entirely. When Meghan entered palace life, reports claim staff noticed inconsistencies too. The royal system runs on paperwork: birth certificates, marriage records, and family documents meant to survive centuries, not social trends. So when details appeared to shift, alarms allegedly rang loud. One moment stood out fast.
She thinks if we just know her, again, like we're going to like her. Okay, show me the friends who know you, who have stuck by you. Who's still in your life? There's not even a family member. They're all gone. Everyone who knew you either fled from you or they were dumped.
I would have loved to have had siblings. That's why I'm so excited to be pregnant, so that Archie has some.
Archie's birth certificate. Initially, it listed Rachel Meghan Markle clearly and normally. Then weeks later, that information was replaced with Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. People reacted instantly. Birth certificates aren't social media profiles. You don't edit them for branding or title upgrades. Critics jumped in and questions started stacking up fast. If a document like that could be changed, people wonder what else could be flexible: her birth year, school timeline, or acting history. And just like that, the fairy tale stopped feeling magical and started raising eyebrows everywhere. Once the rumor escaped into the wild, the internet did exactly what it always does: go all in, roast, remix, replay. TikTok went into full chaos mode. Clips started flooding feeds, flashing Meghan's claimed 1981 birth year right next to that now infamous salsa club photo.
Yeah, she had a very clear idea of where she wanted her path to take her.
For the longest time, she wanted to be a dancer.
I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie.
The captions weren't subtle at all, screaming things like "math is hard, isn't it?" And people couldn't look away. Memes exploded everywhere. Side-by-side jokes comparing Meghan to Benjamin Button took over timelines, with users claiming she's aging backward faster than Hollywood CGI can keep up. Reddit threads lit up like fireworks on New Year's Eve, and every comment section turned into a courtroom. Users began lining her up next to actresses long rumored to shave off years just to land roles. But this hit different. Meghan didn't just land a role, she landed a royal title. And suddenly, the irony tasted bitter. Fans who once defended her nonstop now felt blindsided. One viral comment nailed the mood perfectly. "We thought she was the victim. Turns out she's the director of the whole play." Ouch! That line spread fast. And when the internet stops laughing with you and starts laughing at you, that's when reputations start cracking. Zoom out to Hollywood for a second. Shaving off a few years is almost tradition.
That's her first wedding in Jamaica. That's one of my favorite pictures. I'd like to have that experience with my granddaughter.
Very obvious. You're so dumb. We're not all as dumb as you think we are.
Studio contracts have danced around birthdays since the golden age, and nobody makes a fuss. But royalty? That's a totally different game. The monarchy runs on legitimacy, bloodlines, and centuries of locked-in records. When your brand is built on tradition, adjusting your birth year isn't cosmetic, it's explosive. Meghan built her image on authenticity, positioning herself as the modern Duchess speaking truth against an old system. But the receipts started telling a different story. Multiple birth years floating around, 1975, 1979, 1981, missing photos, alumni records that don't line up, a PR team dropping perfectly timed images instead of clean explanations. Slowly but surely, it stopped looking like coincidence and started looking like editing. Instead of honesty, the vibe felt like control. And when you're trying to be the people's Duchess, that's a risky move. Then came the lawsuits. Samantha Markle took Meghan to court over defamation claims.
But is this true? There is a rumor she's actually older, so let's examine what's out there. This is a copy of 17 magazine, and it was published in March of 1997. In it, it mentions our Megzy is from Los Angeles and that she was 21 years old at the time of publication.
Lawyers combed through documents like they were auditioning for CSI Royal Edition. Every record added fuel to the age debate. Whispers turned louder. Journalists jumped in. Piers Morgan couldn't resist taking swings. Tabloids gloated, and even neutral outlets slid in shady one-liners. Confusion wrapped itself around Meghan's timeline, and fewer people believed the official version. Behind the scenes, insiders claim Meghan's PR team was scrambling, monitoring alumni forums, flagging posts where her name popped up next to strange dates. But the harder they pushed, the louder the backlash grew. One critic summed it up clean. "This isn't palace bullying. This is Meghan being sloppy with her own receipts." That quote stuck. And when gossip turns into a full-blown case study, you know the brand is under serious pressure. And just when it seemed maxed out, the whispers turned into headlines. The age debate wasn't just meme culture anymore, it was a PR wildfire.
I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family.
That would make her birth year at around 1976. However, why is it saying here she was born 5 years later in 1981? Is she 42 years old or is she closer to 47 years old?
It was planned from the...
Every Instagram post, every throwback pic, every casual interview got dissected like courtroom evidence. Analysts, fans, and curious watchers started connecting dots that had been hiding in plain sight for years. And here's where the pressure really started to show. As the noise grew louder, silence became impossible. Meghan didn't directly address the age chatter, but every move she made suddenly felt calculated. Appearances became rarer, interviews felt tighter, and every word was picked apart like it had hidden meaning. Body language experts jumped in, claiming she looked measured and guarded whenever personal history came up. Clips slowed down, screenshots froze, and pauses got analyzed frame by frame. What used to feel confident now felt cautious, and the internet noticed immediately. Then came the interviews that danced around timelines. College years mentioned without dates. career milestones referenced without specifics. To casual viewers, it sounded normal, but to critics, it felt intentional. They argued that when someone avoids simple numbers, it's because the math doesn't work. Even old throwback stories started raising eyebrows. Anecdotes about early auditions, first apartments, and childhood memories suddenly felt out of order to online sleuths.
It's living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is she's a joke.
It's rather lofty to suggest the ability to align with, issues.
People began mapping her life like a detective board, red strings and all, trying to make it make sense. And let's be clear, this wasn't about vanity anymore. Critics framed it as trust. If the public can't trust basic biographical details, what else feels curated? That question spread fast and hit hard. Supporters pushed back, calling the obsession unfair and invasive. They argued aging looks different on everyone, and that speculation had crossed into cruelty. But the louder the defense got, the more attention the debate pulled in. Brands started watching closely. Silence from sponsors spoke volumes. In influencer culture, authenticity is currency, and even a hint of confusion can shake confidence. Commentators warned that perception alone can damage partnerships, even without proof. By this point, the conversation had fully escaped Meghan's control. It wasn't one comment or one meme anymore, it was a rolling narrative. A story being written in real time by millions of strangers. And in the court of public opinion, once doubt takes root, it spreads fast. Whether fair or not, the age question became a symbol. Not just about numbers, but about credibility, image, and who really controls the story when fame meets the internet. The deeper people dug, the messier everything got. Online sleuths went full detective mode, spotting inconsistencies across school records, modeling contracts, and even old magazine features. Dates seemed to shift, names quietly disappeared, and photos popped up in totally different contexts than before. One throwback promo for a film she was said to star in suddenly didn't line up with the timeline at all. That's when whispers turned louder. People started asking if Meghan's story was carefully curated or quietly rewritten.
In a Newsweek article that looked at this very same question, it looked at what her sister, Samantha Markle, has said. Samantha has called out many of her lies. And about her age, in her book, Samantha Markle says in the diary of Princess Pushy's sister, she confirms the year of Meghan's birth is 1981, not 1976. So Meghan's own sister corroborates the official date as per Google.
That was her goal. Hashtag goal, to marry Prince Harry.
For the longest time, she wanted to be a dancer.
And once that question hit social media, the rumor mill didn't just spin, it exploded. Hollywood insiders jumped into the debate fast. In Tinseltown, shaving a few years off your age is almost standard practice. Agents and studios do it all the time, no drama. But when royal bloodlines and palace protocol crash into a public narrative, the rules change instantly. Every misstep gets magnified. Every inconsistency gets dissected. A tiny tweak suddenly becomes a headline-grabbing scandal. Meghan, once praised for her realness, now found herself in a storm where authenticity was being questioned on a global stage. Behind palace walls, sources claimed staff were quietly panicking. Birth certificates, marriage records, and even Archie's documents were allegedly reviewed again and again. Every minor adjustment fueled suspicion. Critics asked if certain records can be edited, what else is negotiable? Her birth year, graduation dates, past job titles. The stakes shot up fast. This wasn't just about personal branding anymore. It was about institutional credibility. When the monarchy's reputation is involved, nothing stays small. Meanwhile, Meghan's PR team went into overdrive. Perfectly timed photos, selective interviews, carefully curated posts. The goal was clear: control the narrative. But instead of calming things down, the pushback got louder. Social media turned into a non-stop echo chamber. Memes spread like wildfire. Deep dive threads went viral. Videos painted a picture of a duchess under pressure, not the modern icon people once believed in. Every move faced scrutiny. Every timeline got challenged, and it didn't stop there. Former classmates spoke up, journalists dug deeper. Legal disputes added more intensity to the situation. Each new revelation circled back to the same question. Was Meghan Markle really the authentic modern duchess she claimed to be? Or was it all a carefully scripted form of control, disguised as transparency? A brand built on openness suddenly felt under siege.
A lot of people, though, say that Samantha Markle had since revealed Megsy's true age in her court documents as part of the defamation suit against her that's happening. This is false. Here you can see that Samantha is 58 years old, born in 1964. The court documents from Samantha, she confirms there is a 17-year difference in age, which would make Meghan's year of birth being 1981. So
the more people looked, the more contradictions stacked up. From birth records to public persona to Hollywood credits, nothing escaped doubt. The line between fact and fiction blurred fast, leaving the public wondering what parts of Meghan Markle were real and what parts were constructed for cameras, palace halls, and the global stage. Then came the nightmare scenario that really shook people. What if this wasn't just about shaving off a few years for vanity? What if the monarchy itself had been misled? Hollywood bends ages every day, no shock there. But the Windsors have survived major scandals, intense scrutiny, and global controversies. The last thing the palace needs is a duchess accused of rewriting her own biography, and yet here we are. Photos, documents, rumors stacking up faster than anyone can track. Now the fallout hits hard and fast. Streaming giants, publishers, and merch brands that invested millions into Meghan's authentic image suddenly face a serious problem. And the pressure is only getting heavier. And now the consequences are getting very real, very fast. When money gets involved, the tone always changes. Brands don't care about vibes or excuses, they care about trust. Executives reportedly started asking uncomfortable questions behind closed doors. Not publicly, not on record, but quietly where it matters most. Streaming platforms, publishers, and business partners began reviewing contracts line by line. Clauses about image, credibility, and public perception suddenly mattered a lot more. When a brand is sold as authentic, even a cloud of doubt can trigger panic. Insiders whispered that meetings felt tense, projects slowed down, decisions got delayed. No one wanted to make a move until the dust settled. In the business world, hesitation is never a good sign.
She's extremely dominant, and they know how to play the vulnerability card.
Notice that at the end of every episode, it says, like, the starring Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
Yes.
That's how she's built.
At the same time, Meghan's public appearances stayed limited. When she did show up, everything felt polished to the point of stiffness. Outfits analyzed, facial expressions frozen into screenshots. Even casual smiles were debated like they held hidden meaning. Supporters continued to defend her fiercely. They argued the obsession had gone too far and that no woman owes the public a forensic breakdown of her life. But critics fired back just as loudly, saying transparency was the promise that built the brand in the first place. And that's where the real tension sits. This wasn't just about age anymore. It was about expectation versus reality. When you position yourself as open, honest, and different from the system, people expect receipts. Online investigators didn't slow down either. Old interviews resurfaced. Red carpet clips got timestamped. Quotes were compared side by side, year by year. People weren't just watching anymore. They were auditing. Comment sections turned into timelines. Every inconsistency, no matter how small, got flagged and debated. It became less about proving anything and more about testing credibility under pressure. Meanwhile, media outlets kept circling. Headlines grew sharper. Language got more cautious but more pointed. Even careful wording couldn't hide the skepticism creeping into coverage. The strangest part? No clear statement ever came to shut it down completely. And in the internet age, silence doesn't calm storms, it feeds them. So the narrative kept moving on its own, a story powered by speculation, screenshots, and side-by-side comparisons. Whether fair or not, the perception stuck. At this stage, the question wasn't just how old is Meghan Markle, it became who controls the story now? Because once the public feels locked out of the truth, they stop listening to explanations and start trusting their own theories. And when doubt becomes the headline, rebuilding trust takes more than perfect photos or curated interviews. It takes clarity. And until that shows up, the conversation isn't going anywhere. Authenticity stops selling the moment the receipts tell a different story. Nobody wants to invest in an image that feels shaky. Deals start getting second looks, PR teams scramble behind the scenes, and boardrooms quietly ask the same question: how did we miss this? This isn't just gossip anymore. These are multi-million-dollar contracts sitting on the edge. When credibility wobbles, money follows fast, and hesitation spreads like wildfire in executive circles. The irony cuts even deeper. Megyn positioned herself as someone breaking barriers, calling out ageism, and rewriting outdated rules. But critics argue that if her age was ever adjusted, then the system wasn't challenged, it was played. Instead of changing the game, she may have followed the same Hollywood playbook she claimed to rise above. History loves irony, and the internet loves receipts. Every message about empowerment, transparency, and truth now risks being reframed as carefully staged. The story flips fast online, and once it flips, it sticks. Megyn wanted to be remembered as a rule breaker. Instead, critics say she risks being remembered as someone who couldn't even keep her birthday straight. Social media doesn't forget, and the internet never lets go. Every post gets examined, every photo gets zoomed in, every throwback gets compared side by side. Sleuths and meme makers work the same timeline, and once doubt is planted, it spreads fast. TikTok edits, Reddit deep dives, viral commentary stacking on top of viral commentary. What started with a salsa club photo now stretches into questions about royal paperwork. Each receipt adds another crack in the image. Megyn aimed for a fairy tale, but the story the internet clings to is much simpler. A public figure accused of editing her own life story. And with every new headline, the cycle restarts. Every interview becomes evidence. Every charity appearance gets analyzed. Every casual memory gets placed under a microscope. Nothing passes without scrutiny once trust is questioned. And if anyone thinks this is fading out, think again. Every time Megyn hits the news, those same salsa photos, alumni threads, and document debates rush right back into focus. This narrative isn't just about Megyn anymore. It's about control, perception, and how fast a carefully built brand can unravel when the spotlight gets too bright. So now the question hangs in the air louder than ever. Is Megyn really 44, or has she been playing the biggest role of her life? The internet already has a nickname locked and loaded, the Duchess of Deception. If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.